After falling to the New York Jets by a score of 38-20, the Miami Dolphins now have an overall record of 4-7 and 0-5 in the AFC East. My name is Brandon Howard with Sports Talk Florida, and this is your postgame 3 and out. The Miami Dolphins have had difficulty running the football all season long, and they certainly had difficulty in this contest. This game was no different. They ran the football just 9 times for 12 yards, and that's not going to cut it in the NFL. You got to run the football with some level of success and regularity, and that certainly didn't happen for them today. And you can pretty much count on the Dolphins revamping and retooling that offensive line in the offseason if things don't change, because what it looks like right now is that this is an offensive line that cannot generate enough of a surge up front to get the running backs into the second level and make plays. So hopefully, that's something they can continue to work on and get better at as the season goes along. But again, they've been trying to get this done since week 1. Secondly, you have the matchup between Brent Grimes and Brandon Marshall, and unfortunately, it did not go Brent Grimes' way. What I would have preferred to have seen in this particular matchup, once you saw what was going on and with kind of Brandon Marshall and his size and being able to kind of just shield Brent Grimes away from the football, what I would have liked to have seen is more cloud coverage, and that just simply means quarter, quarter, half. That's the cornerback playing his quarter of the field, and the free safety playing his quarter, and then the strong safety playing over top, playing half the field, with the corner on that side playing the flat. And I would have liked to have seen Jamar Taylor be that cornerback playing the flat, because he would have been able to get his hands on Brandon Marshall. That's just the type of cornerback he is. He's a physical guy who likes to kind of get his hands on wide receivers and disrupt timing. And I think that would have been much better for this Dolphins defense, and that would have kind of stopped some of the success that Brandon Marshall was able to have, because then you would have had him disrupting the timing, Jamar Taylor, and with the safety over the top, and him being able to pass Brandon Marshall off to the safety. But with playing things the way that they played them, with Brent Grimes kind of in cat coverage, meaning that wherever Brandon Marshall went, that's where Brent Grimes went. So with Grimes being in cat coverage, that kind of limited the amount of success that this defense was able to have. And I would have preferred to, let's find out what Devin Smith is able to do. Let's find out what Eric Decker is able to do. Devin Smith is a rookie who's relatively unproven. Eric Decker is a veteran who, has proven himself to be relatively inconsistent, since leaving the Denver Broncos. So that's something that, the Dolphins could have done a little bit better in this matchup, at least give themselves a chance, but don't get beat over and over again by a Pro Bowl wide receiver because of hubris. I mean, you allowed Brandon Marshall to catch the football 9 times for 131 yards. So that's something that, when they face more of these elite wide receivers, I think that they should go to cloud coverage a little bit earlier on. Last but certainly not least is offensive continuity. That's something that has been an issue since the beginning of the season as well. And that's just the ability to get the cheap yardage and keep the chains moving. And that's something that this offense has been unable to do, is just pick up the cheap yardage. And there's plenty of it to be gained with Ryan Tannehill's legs. And I'm not talking about design runs, and I'm not talking about read option. I'm talking about when plays break down, allow Ryan Tannehill to pick up the yardage with his legs. Too often I'm saying, okay, Ryan Tannehill has time in the pocket, and then all of a sudden he just dumps the football down to a running back who already has a linebacker staring him in the face, ready to smack him. That's something that has got to change. I would like to see Ryan Tannehill use his athleticism, turn into the runner at that point in time, and just use that running back as a blocker instead of getting him killed by a linebacker. So that's something that I feel like could help the Dolphins achieve some level of offensive continuity. And also, another way to do that is Lamar Miller. I mean, you see him matched up with linebackers often. And Lamar Miller, a linebacker on Lamar Miller, most of the time is a mismatch. Get him the football on a wheel route, or split him out wide, get him there on an arrow route. There's so many things that you can do with a guy like that to get cheap yardage. And right now, the Dolphins are not doing what is necessary to get that cheap yardage. And so as far as Ryan Tannehill's using his legs and Lamar Miller being utilized more as a wide receiver to get those mismatches, those are things that I'll definitely be taking Dan Campbell and the team to task on next week. And hopefully they'll have a better performance against the Baltimore Ravens. Once again, my name is Brandon Howard with Sports Talk Florida, and this concludes your post-game 3 and Out.